So thanks again for joining us today for the Intelligent Membranes Component Spotlight. And I'm going to be playing the role of Q&A concierge today. So as questions occur to you during Adam's presentation, please type them into chat. We'll be tracking those questions. And then when it comes time for the discussion session, we'll ask you to come on screen and ask your question of Adam, and we can have a nice exchange. So Adam White is the CEO and founder of Intelligent Membranes, owner, creator, and passive house consultant. He lives and breathes passive house building standards. Through his suite of companies, Intelligent Membranes included, he's driving environmentally forward-thinking initiatives into the building sector. So with that, I'd like to introduce Adam White.
How we doing, everyone? My name's Adam White from Intelligent Membranes, and I am, as Zach said, the CEO founder of our liquid membrane range. So let's kick off this presentation. So Intelligent Membranes. So we now operate all over the world. We have distribution centers in LA, we have New York, we have the UK, we have Australia, we have France. We do net zero passive house products for every form of construction. So, little introduction to us. You've got me on the top there as a caricature. You have Alex. He is head of technical for us. So he's the guy that runs around and actually does all the hard work. I just look pretty sometimes. And then you have Loz, who helps me with all the design work. So all the new design and artwork you see for Intelligent Membranes, she is the mastermind behind that with Alex and myself. So innovative products, everything we do, I keep saying we do passive house and net zero, but we are for every form of construction. So if you're going from your timber frame, basic timber frame homes, we have products that can help you on there. Even if you're not trying to drive the high performance, we can help them make them energy efficient with a small amount of product. So today we are going to, first of all, we're going to look at passive purple external. Do forgive me, I've never seen these slides before because we've just done a rebrand. So it literally come in the last 5 minutes. So if I do stumble, that's why. So passive purple external. So this is a sister product to our passive purple. This is our weather barrier product. Now, this also goes on any form of construction, from timber frame, high-rise, modular builds, to your masonry forms of construction. It comes in two forms of product. It comes in a liquid or liquid spray or roll applied version. And it also has a brush applied version that has fibers in it. So when we're looking at the two products, if we look at the spray version being our big roll membranes, the paper membranes that burn like hell, or we can use, when we're looking at the brush, they would be our tapes. So the brush version has lots of small fibers in it. So when you're brush applying to any gaps, if you've got your RSB gaps, when you've got your couple of mil, you can paint in them gaps and it'll form a bridge over the top of it. I'm just going to come out of this just for a second. There you go. That might make things easier. So I'm just going to go through the differences between passive purple and passive purple external before I carry on the slideshow. So when we're looking at construction, I'm going to draw a timber frame here just to make it nice and easy. Can we see that okay, Zach? Can you see that okay,
Yes,
Zach?
no, I think this is working really well, Adam. Looks great.
Okay, great. Okay, so before I carry on, let's explain what the difference is between our internal and external products. So our passive purple is our internal range. So this is our vapor control air barrier. Now, if we were to look at it under a microscope, it would look like this. Interior barriers are predominantly very vapor closed. Look, loads of little holes. So these are really vapor closed. to stop any moisture being driven in from the inside of the building. When we're looking, and this is our airtight, oh God, and vapor. When we're looking at our external membranes, it would look like this. So the big difference is these are waterproof, but they're very vapor open. So this allows the building to breathe. It will be waterproof, but the moisture can travel through and get to the outside of the building. So that's the big difference between the two. Both are really important in passive house because we really want to keep this side away from this side. The warm air predominantly being in this side, getting to the cold air in this side. We can change that interior membrane to go on the outside. So if you've got a really, really hot and humid climate, you may want to switch it around so the exterior barrier is on the inside. But predominantly around Europe and a lot of America, this is the way you would see that build up. So very vapor open and very vapor closed. These intelligent membranes, they are like the bouncer on your building. So if they sense high humidity within inside the building and it hasn't gone this way, it can open up and let the moisture out. So bounce from the door, very vapor closed, very vapor open. Okay. If I go back again. You've all probably spotted, I don't really do the side social often.
No, it's worth toggling.
I just wing it.
Yeah, it's worth toggling, Adam. That worked really, that was really effective. So I think it's great to switch back and forth.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Just explain, oh God, she's beat me to it. So I'll beat her to it. The differences between passive purple, our internal range and our external range, the vapor closed and vapor open. Well, how does passive purple external stand out from anything else that's on the market? Well, I think to date, we're probably one of the most tested products around the world for every single country that we're in. We just received our final ICC report today to say that we are a weather barrier that's put us, our product through all the paces. It's put it through the freeze for it's done simulated tests on large scale buildings where they've had ply and OSB and then put it in chambers to test it. We've had accelerated aging. So this is to see how the product acts when it's hot, cold, dry, stress and tension. So if there's any cracks, will it move with the building? So that's how it stands out. I think one of the other biggest ways we stand out, I'm going to stop sharing again, just going to annoy everyone, but I apologize, is our fire performance. So I do have a Bunsen burner, always have it in here. So don't know how this is going to come up on the screen, but passive purple external is fire class A or ASTM A fire. What it will do, it'll burn a level of carbon onto the substrate to stop it burning straight away. And what we want is no flames. We don't want any flames. We don't want to add to that fire. We want to take everything away. But we're actually giving a level of protection to it. So if I didn't have our product on there, you can see the flames instantly come up and we're on fire. So that's one of the main advantages of our product. So with ASTMA, we're ENB on our fire class. So we stop the spread of flame rather than promoting any spread of flame. We are also, I'll go back to sharing. We are also designed for exterior use where we don't actually have to be covered up. So it might be on the next slide. I've just seen a picture. Nope. Oh, it's on this slide, sorry. In the bottom right corner, you'll see we actually use our product on bridges. So we can be left exposed. So although passive purple external, famous purple color, I can come in different colors. So I can come in black, gray. If you can think of a color, I can make it. And the reason why it's used on the bridges is because it's an anti-carbonization. So it stops all the carbon getting into the concrete, getting into the steel, and causing a rust that will blow it. So if you drive around New York and look at all these bridges and everything, yeah, I'm sure Michael will tell you it's a bit of a sorry state of affairs over there with the products that they're picking. So they need to pick something like passive purple external that would actually protect the substrates that it's on. Here's a picture here. So we've got a demonstration of where passive purple external would go on the exterior facade there. You've got passive purple on the interior. Something that I haven't brought up yet is we have a lot of airtight fleece membranes as well. So these are start again. These are the connections between the windows and the timber frame or the masonry build. Because these gaps are predominantly a lot bigger, because we're going to have copper band in there, you're going to have your foams in there. So you're going to want something that spans that gap, but will be flexible as well, because around the windows and when the building moves, there is a lot of building movement there. We also have a DPM product called Waterproof Blue. This goes on the seals and around the windows where we want a complete vapor block, just to stop any of that infiltration of water on it. I think I've swapped this around. This should have been at the beginning. This is our new branding. This is the Net Zeros. This is our new range. All our products have characters. So this is our new branding for our whole company. We are the Net Zeros. Jumping on to a completely different product now. I'm going to come back to that one, actually. That one's a bit out of character. Fred. So Fred is our Fire Class A product. Now, this is a special product that we have. Fred is our product that goes on timber frame buildings. It goes on spray foam, and it gives that level of protection, and actually got timed protections as well. So if you've got spray foam always needs to be protected, or PIR foam always needs to have a fire barrier on there, because the risks of fire at the minute are going through the roof. Everything needs to be protected, and Fred is our product that does that. I won't get the fire out again because I've already got a nice big burn mark on my floor. Poseidon, this is our American tested waterproof bathroom waterproofing product. This goes on any rooms, bathroom areas, and this is spray, roll, or brush applied. You have some similar products, I won't name them, but we've tested our products into the American market, and this is our competitive product. I don't know if this will play.
And this is our range of airtight tapes.
membrane.
Our airtight tapes come in a variety of sizes: 75mm, 100mm, 150mm, and even up to 200mm. These tapes are used to go around windows and doors, service penetrations, and any connections on a building that needs to be made airtight. So the great thing about our airtight tapes being fleece lined is once they're installed, our product, Passive Purple, will perfectly stick to them.
Just trying to move on to the next slide. Oh God. I think it stopped. Okay, I'm not sure what's gone on there, but I think that was a good time because we start getting into some other products. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's what our Passive Purple external was, with a few more products were thrown in there quickly. Yeah, I do apologize if I've skipped too much, but this is where we can go to the Q&A and actually talk about the products themselves. Again, I'm not a big fan of the presentation, the PowerPoints, but let's move on, I think.
Well, awesome. And while you may not be a big fan, that was excellent, and really, I think it was fun to have this multimedia I think
I'm
it's the
lucky
first
I
time.
didn't with pee on the floor. I've got it. It was actually on fire. I was like, I can't stand
Okay,
it.
well, I'm glad that that is contained. It is the first time we've had a blowtorch on live in the Component Spotlight, so well done.
See how red I've gone. It was sticking to my phone. Anyway, I'll let you crack on.
Awesome. Well, we do have some questions, and I want to encourage people to type more into the chat as we go. Let's start with Michael. I think Michael, you had a question, yeah?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of questions, but
Yeah.
I'll stick with one. So a lot of my clients, when we're doing our historic masonry retrofits, I'm already getting. I don't need to insulate my party walls, 3 feet in at least. And so if I wanted to, I could use a liquid applied on the side wall. I love the fact that you were looking at your exposed product, and where you said you can actually get it in a different color other than purple. Have people done it on the interior? Can I do it as the interior? Is it my final finish? Can I paint on top of it? And I know it's a difficult issue because it's a little, it has a texture to it, but.
So our passive pebble external could go interior if it's just for the air tightness. If it's just for the air tightness on the party walls, say you want to get them bad smells away. So if you've got a neighbour that loves cooking something random and them smells are coming in, if you can put passive pebble external on in white, it does have a matte finish to it. It does
Cool.
have a matte finish, so it's not a shiny finish. Bit different to passive purple. We tried to do passive purple, would have more of a shiny because it's vapor closed, but there lies our thing with the fire as well, because when you go to more vapor open products, so you can get more fire resistance from them as well. So Class B would actually be perfect on that party wall because you actually add a layer of fire to it as well.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I will say now that we've all gotten to do enough passive houses, I think the next step is now, okay, well, now what can I do with them? Can I do exposed brick? Can I do this? So I think having additional products that let you go that next step and for specific applications are good, because I think you'll get people, at least I have people who are like, yeah, I want to do a passive house, but I really like exposed brick. So having a product out there that helps us get there is important. So
we do have a clear version for the exterior as well. Just we're 30 years we give on that. So it's our exterior clear. So if you've got a listed building, but that's just for watertightness as well, because
so is that when you say clear, it's like I can't see it, like for real?
You can't see it. You put it on, it's invisible, but it's very, very, very vapor open. So the perms, the SD rating, it's so minimal that it will change. Because that's the problem with some of these products on the market. They put them on, but it closes everything off. So it makes it waterproof, but it stops the moisture coming back through. And that's what blows all the bricks on the other side.
Okay, I love that. We're going to talk about that after this. I'm going to get that spec.
Okay.
Yeah, I would use that everywhere. There's just no reason not to.
I'll send some in the post. Well, that's another thing. If anyone ever wants any samples, we do loads of these little samples that we've got, and we've just got thousands of them come in. So if anyone wants any samples, just drop a message or drop an address, and we send them out free of charge.
All right. Cool. Thank you. Thanks for letting me go first.
Yeah, you bet, Michael. Founder's privilege. All right. So next up is Stephen Stewart, and he asked me to ask the question for him. So how would these products be utilized in an exterior retrofit? The interior will be left intact. Has this been tested for potential health impacts over the long term?
So, regards to VOCs, we have no VOCs. We are like that whole of my company wide. We have 0 bad chemicals. Now that is every product always has a downfall, and that is passive purple and all external membranes is our downfall. Is I can't put anything in there. So the winter time, if the temperature goes too low, we're water based, so we can't be used. Then if it goes below 5 degrees, we can't be used. But I'd prefer to stay on the healthy side of things. So I don't want any accelerants in there, shall I say. I don't want to put anything in there that's going to go, right, okay, make us dry, because that we know that's going to be something bad that makes it happen.
And when you when you mentioned can't be used, you mean can't be applied?
It can't be applied below
Right.
5 degrees.
But
Yeah.
it's fine once applied. Yeah.
Yeah, once applied on a retrofit, it's perfect. Again, if you're going to retrofit on the outside, you can put passive purple on the outside of the brickwork. Then you can insulate, and then you can do your new rain screen or whatever you're going to do. Or you can use our passive house brick seal, which will give a level of waterproofing. So if you've got a really bad damp issue, in the UK right now, it is absolutely hammering it down. These buildings are soaking tons and tons of moisture up. If they had a clear protective product, that wouldn't happen. And so they wouldn't get the damp rushing through like they are now.
Got it. Great. Thank you. And yeah, great question, Stefan. All right. So next up is John Snell. John, are you available to ask your question?
I am. Can
Great.
you? Great presentation. Thanks. I'm really interested in your product. Things like Blueskin, the zip system, Hydro Gap SA, and Hydro Flash can protect bare plywood from UV damage and heavy rain for months before the final siding is attached. For how many months will passive purple external protect bare wood from warping from heavy rain and well, mixture of heavy rain and UV? Um, we usually shut things down during the heavy rains in California in the winter, so it could be 6-9 months, something like that, before we restart and put on our external insulation and external um, uh, um, siding.
Yeah, that's a great question. I've got an example. We've got G-Pod. They done passive purple external on their project, and I believe it was open for nearly 2 years before it actually got covered up, and that was on OSB. I've personally I've got horse sheds and stuff where it's out in the elements. You'd like to say 6 months, 9 months on timber. The thing with timber is it has to be completely sealed. If there's any gaps in there, moisture will find a way. But if you're doing timber, if it's timber frame vertical, yeah, you're safe for a year.
Oh, this is great to hear. And there's no need. Our first focus is preventing the rain damage, but the second focus is to leave it on for the rest of the life of the building for air sealing. It sounds like both happen. We just spray it on or brush it on.
Yep. So you'd paint all the joints first. Like I said, you'd treat the paintbrush version with the fibers as your tape membrane. You'd go around all the joints, paint over them, any big screw holes, anything like that. With any project or passive house project, preparation is always the best thing. A lot of people just think, oh, I'm just going to get a spray gun and close your eyes and it's done. It's not like that. If you've got a 5-day project, you've got 4 days preparation, 1 day of spraying. It's preparation. Make sure every nook and cranny is sealed.
If we really want to seal the cracks around things like plumbing penetrations, electrical penetrations, window frames, are we better off brushing the fibers into the cracks first before we tape, or would you tape first and then brush on?
So if you're going to go round, let's go in 2 halves there. You've got the windows. Always recommend a window tape, either a fleece membrane. We have fleece membranes that you attach onto the window and onto the frame, and these can be painted on over the top. So it's always good to put these membranes on and then just double check everything and paint it on. No disrespect to the installers, my installers, but we try and make everything idiot proof. If it's purple or it's a continuous color, we know it's air sealed. We know it's tight.
Okay. Yeah, I would have thought that the brush on would get into the cracks, whereas the tape can't get into the cracks in the air seal.
Just around the windows. Now, if we're looking at surface penetrations, you can put passive purple. You can paint the passive purple external brush around these, or we do have another product that I haven't spoken about. We have one called the Goat, greatest of all time, and that's our air sealing membrane. So it comes in a sausage tube, like our passive purple external and our passive purple, and it's a reactive polymer that we have, and that seals round. But that will take a lot of site damage, should I say. So it's going to be very hard to break the goat.
Okay. And is there a problem if we brush first and then paint? I mean, excuse me.
Always brush
and then
first. Always
brush
brush
first.
first.
I'm sorry. I meant to say brush first and then tape, and then spray on top of the tape. Or does the tape not stick once you've brushed on the
No,
stuff?
the tape will stick. The tape will stick to any of our passive purple products.
Okay. So we can fill up the cracks first, then tape, and then do final brushing and spraying.
Yep, you can choose any method you want like that. Yeah,
Okay.
agreed.
Great product. Very
Good question.
comes at the perfect time for us. So thank you.
No worries.
Thanks, John. Okay, next is Celia. Are you available, Celia, to ask your question? If not, I can ask it for you. I think I'll go ahead and do that. So Celia asks, do the products need specific compressors or tips to be spray applied? What is needed for site cleanup? Soap and water or something stronger?
Oh, good question. So no, just your normal Graco decorated spray machine. All of our testing was done with a 517 tip. So if you buy a Graco machine, there are others out there, but your traditional painters that's going to go into a standard house and paint a building will have a Graco 595, 495, and it'll come with a 517 tip, and that's the tip you use. All sprayers are different though. I've got loads of different sprays, and they will all tell me they prefer a different spray. It's how people operate. Even doing the spraying, some people go up and down. Some people hold it gangster left to right. Some people go up and down, then across. As long as you get the right microns on, because passive purple, you do it in 2 passes, so 2 layers, but 2 passes. You can go up and down, or you can go up, down, go do the room and come back. Some people go across it that way. And then it all depends on substrate as well. So if the substrate is OSB, really nice and easy to spray. But if you've got a porous brick or block, then you might want to start changing angles, and you use a different tip. You might want to go to a more contractor's tip and go for a 629 or something a bit bigger to get more product on.
Excellent. And yeah, no, that's great. And then cleanup.
Oh, the cleanup. We always just use water. We always use water. If we do put a cleaner through, it will be a $1 cleaning product, just the like the Jif soap cleaner that we run through. Other than that, water just runs it through. The compressors are strong enough to push anything through. And as we're water-based, as you're running the water through, it cleans itself. Most decorators will probably tell you that when they use water-based products, they just use water to clean their machines out.
Excellent. Cool. Thank you. Next up is Rohan. Rohan, are you available to ask your question?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Great.
Adam,
Good to see you.
that was a great presentation. What a fabulous product line you have, I must say. And I particularly enjoyed the fire demonstration, which then leads me to ask, practical question is, who's your distributor in Toronto? Because I work in Canada. That's one. If it's easily found on your website, don't bother to answer. I can find it myself. But then it led to, because I work everything from steel to barns, intumescent paint comparison, fire resistance. How does your product work in comparison to intumescent paints?
So if you're saying when my product goes on to another intumescent paint or the lap over, in any scenario like that, I can't guarantee their products and they can't guarantee my products. We'd have to say, right, who's the product, and we'd have to do a test between them. 2 seconds. So we would have to take the product. We would take the products and we would send it off for testing. We'd say, look, that's the base product. This is our product going on top, and we would then re-fire test it as well.
Right.
Would see what it would do, what it would do in that situation.
Right. And if we wanted to use your product first, as opposed to an intumescent paint, so how, can you give that? Does your product have a, the 1 hour rating per thickness, the 2 hour rating per thickness type of thing?
We haven't gone that far with that kind of testing. We've done timber frame scale testing. It's a bit of a sore subject for me on the times thing, because a lot of the times, if you dig down into the actual nuts and bolts of it, they're not, what they go on is not, unless it's some of the steel people have it right, but on the timber side, a lot of the testing out there is not true, and not correct to what it's been tested. We do have a series of timber frame tests going. We have done tests where we've got 11 mil OSB to stay in a furnace of 1,100 degrees for
Yes.
25 minutes on 11 mil OSB with one of our products on it. We're back in again in a few weeks with foam. We're really good on foam products, so we sell a lot into the foam market now with Fred going on them products.
Excellent. So again, so is your distributor in Canada easily found on your website?
He's not because he's brand new. He's a wonderful guy called Thomas from Vancouver.
Okay.
We can drop you his details over, and he
Absolutely.
has
Please.
and he has more coming on the way. So
Yeah. That'd be great.
another thing we can say, we can deliver anywhere in the world within 5 days. Sometimes I can get it to America quicker than I can to, say, the south of England. That's how crazy things are. I can get something quicker to, say, New York or LA, and that's madness. It's just so fast.
Okay. Thank you, Adam.
No worries. Thank you.
Thanks, Rohan. Hey, Adam, before we do the next question, can you take a moment and share the significance of the space you're in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the space we're in, so this is when COVID hit, I was building a training facility to do passive house stuff. And then it just started snowballing. Great company found out and they said, Adam, can we stick a bar in your training facility? Because it looks like more pub. So I let them build this big Corian thing. Got a wonderful guy from LA design it. Mercedes were the only other people to have their product in the UK. So this is where we have the CPDs.
Nice.
Fully functioning beer on tap. I do co-own a brewery, so if anyone gets products, I can sneakily put some beers on there as well for you. Not bribing you or anything. Yeah, so we built it to passive house standards, twin wall system. I've done a lot of things just to play. If you ever come to the UK and Cambridge, we've got a lot of buildings where we build things and play with different scenarios. I put way too much screed concrete in the floor just to see how it regulated the temperature. So I done about 220 mil of screed, like that, ridiculous amount. But I have 450 watts of heating in a flat next door, and that's all I need all year round for this whole big building.
It's very cool.
It is so good. We can get 120 people in here, and it still operates just flawless. It's, yeah, passive house. I do love it. It's not without its fault, passive house. Don't get me wrong or get me started on that. But yeah, the training side of things, and this is why we put the bar in it as well. If you can get people interested in passive house, because not everyone likes the nerdy side of things. I kind of like some of that stuff, but not everyone does. But if you say, oh, here's a beer and I'll explain to you why you're going to make a load of money, oh, well, they're all ears. And you've got to attack every angle with the passive house or net zero world coming in. So
awesome. Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. And it's the world's most airtight bar. Is that right?
It's the world's most airtight bar. When we done the test, it was 0.07.
Okay.
We're going to get it redone though. And I've applied for my alcohol license. So when I get that, I can officially say on the Guinness Book of Records, I'm the most airtight bar. So they can come and
nice. That's awesome.
We did contact them for that. So
yeah. Cool. Well, thanks for that digression, and it's a really cool space. So Martina, thank you for your patience there. If you're available to ask your question, please come on screen or unmute. And I'm going to go ahead and ask for you, Martina. So her question is, how long does this product last? Since it's a new product, do you know how long it takes to degrade? Also, does it emit VOCs, which I know you've addressed the VOC issue already.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so sadly, we have been around for quite some time. I have been slugging this out for many, many years. So it's not new to the market. It is new to the American market in the test that we've just achieved there, but it's not new to the market on that side. The VOCs, no, we're VOC free. We don't do anything like that. We will, and when it comes to lasting, so passive purple, we will last for as long as the product that we're adhered to. So if the OSB lasts for 100 years, our product will last for 100 years because we're on that product. We're not going anywhere. They put it in an easier way. So once we build our passive house wall systems, the whole wall system itself is nearly it's dead. It's not a lot is happening there. So if we look after the inside and the outside of our building, then our buildings that we build now will be there for hundreds and hundreds of years. The technology will change around it, but as long as we're looking after the inside and the outside, what we've actually built our building with, it's going to be there for ages. You only have to go into like any towns where you've got 200, 300-year old buildings. Well, ours are going to be like that in 200-300 years time as well. That's my view on it.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. Lauren Holmes is next, and she's asked me to ask a question for her. So can this product be used in very cold climates like -50°C?
It can't go under 5 degrees for install again because it's water based. Unfortunately, not. No, it has to have.
Right. Once
if
installed.
Yeah. Once it's dried, yeah, perfect. It's
Right.
fine. But with the install, no. But once it's dried, yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, next up is Paul Kellner. Paul, are you available to ask your question?
I am.
Great.
Real quick question. The DPM on the exterior sills, is that also vapor permeable?
No, that's a vapor block.
Okay.
That's a vapor block. You see, that's why we used it on the on the flat side of the window there, because we don't want any moisture. So if it gets behind the sill, we want it to be able to just run off. We don't want it to sit there and then sink through.
Okay. And when you were mentioning 5 degrees, is that Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Celsius.
Okay. Can this also be applied onto a wet substrate, not soaking, but rain driven, just damp surfaces?
It can go on damp surfaces within reason. So it's going to have to be down to you guys know when you're installing what is reasonable and what is not. If you can see it and it's a little bit damp to feel, that's fine. But if you touch it and it's sodden, then no, because we're water based. We're just going to mix with the water too. They're not set, but we can, because as we go in, we'll dry and then we'll let the moisture through, because we're an intelligent membrane. Our product will open up and let it through.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Thank you for the question.
Thanks, Paul. Next is Charles Henley. Charles, are you available to ask? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and ask for you, Charles. How is the product connected to the roof weather barrier at eaves and soffits?
So the roof weather barrier, we normally have their barriers. So if a roof barrier membrane comes on, you can stick to passive purple external. We'll always do an adhesion test with that. So we've got many products here in the UK. We can do, it's a simple pull test where we stick the two products together and then we stick it to a lab, or they do it and then they try and pull them apart. And if it comes apart easy, we can just put a contact adhesive in between there. We do have a contact adhesive as well for any products that might struggle to stick to us.
Perfect. Cool. And next up is Josie Schwartz. Hey, Josie.
Hi, everyone. Well, first of all, I co-own a brewery, and I'm I'm currently renovating
Oh,
our new
nice.
location, and I'm coming for that air tightness record as well.
Uh-oh.
So
Uh-oh.
watch your back.
Oh,
One
shot
thing.
fired. Come on.
um, Great presentation, very exciting products. Fire is always a bonus. So I was looking at the website. In the US, it says that pricing information is not available on the website, and to contact somebody, just because there's a lot of us, and I suspect a lot of us might have the same question. Is there a good way for us to get price and product information for our area? So that's number one. And then the second question would be, I suspect it will be more efficient to be applied with a sprayer. But if you could just maybe talk through some of the pros and cons of spray applying versus like rolling it on. I personally hate sprayers. So yeah, that's my preference. So I just want to make sure I'm not shooting myself in the foot too much, losing a lot of efficiency. Thanks.
Okay, no worries. Well, I'll go through the first one. We have a brand new website. That's why some stuff have come up on our current website. We've got a brand new website next week. You can contact us now in the UK, and we'll give you the distributors' details around the States, so you can get information from there. But we've got a massive back staff here in the UK that can answer all the questions anyway. So we all work around in each other's country anyway. So on that side, first and foremost, if you drop us an email, ask us any questions, ask us for products, where you're located, and we can organise the right person to send that product to you and answer your questions or give you any drawings that you might need. That's another thing we don't say, that we have a back catalogue of thousands of different scenarios, and a lot of them now are American based for your climates and what you do. And then the second question you had was spray and roll. So rolling, I'd only ever roll really if I'm a DIYer, a home builder, that's just doing a small job. Then you roll in, because when you roll in a product, you have to get the right microns on. If you've ever painted your kitchen or living room, you paint the ceiling with white, and you know, right, okay, paint it again, then you paint it again, and you might end up doing it 3-4 times to get the right amount of microns on. But when spraying, it's just there. You got your machine, your 2 passes, you're there, you can see it's complete. It's always more efficient, cost effective to use a sprayer, although the sprayers are expensive. If you're only doing a few jobs here and there, maybe not so much. You've got time to put them extra additional coats on. I'm one for the sprayer, but if you've got block work, that's a different scenario. For retrofit, because they're quite porous and because it can be quite bumpy, and you really need to get on there. So you'll use a high shag roller, and you'll put it on with a roller just to get the product into the holes, into the gaps. Sound like Michael's retrofit projects where he's painting the walls, and he's going to seal them up in the lofts. He would use a roller for that, just to make sure he pushes it all in and gets it in.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, my our new location is a 19th century building, so it's like 150 years old, and it's got like a mix of stone foundation and brick and pipe, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I'll probably be putting like just a mortar over the top, get a nice smooth surface first, so I don't have to spend an arm and a leg on product to go in and out of all of those crevices. But I did want to say too, I'm also using my, I don't know if you can see it.
Nice Pass Fast Network mug.
What's
Thank
the
you
brewery? Give it a shout out. What's the brewery?
Suspended Brewing Company. We're real tiny, and really the whole point of our company is just to set a model of responsible small business, just because not a lot of voices are loud in that space for highly efficient buildings. I work for our Department of the Environment. For my day job, I work on the climate change team at the state level. So the brewery is more or less just sort of like a bigger platform to sing loudly for high performance buildings and really small business as a climate solution. But yeah,
it's a fantastic way of doing it. Fantastic way, and I'll definitely say keep going with that, because that is a way you drive people into this industry. It's really good. And I will look you up, and I will be requesting some free beer.
All right, thanks. That was awesome. Next up is Kathy Sasaki Spade. Kathy, are you here to ask your question?
Yes.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like to ask, how many times do you have to apply? Is it just once, or certain minimum millimeter have to be obtained? Thank you.
Yeah, so I mean, you've got minimum microns that you're trying to put on each time. So if you're saying for you're going to put 500 microns on, you're going to do 250 microns in your first pass, and then you do another 250 in your second pass. Yeah, so it's two. You will do two passes because you're not going to get 500 microns in one go, because it will just be a big gloopy mess coming down your wall. I've seen people try it, but not with my product. But yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
No worries.
Kathy.
Thank you.
And it looks like John, you haven't.
Who was the cat?
Oh,
What was that
nice.
cat? Go back
That
to the
was
cat.
great.
Oh, was that Kathy's, was it?
Yeah, Kathy, I love we're admiring the cat photo there, Kathy.
Oh, nice.
Next is John Snell. You have another question, yeah?
Yes. Can you give us a ballpark idea on pricing for the external product? Brush on and spray on and roller on. I don't know, for 1,000 square feet. Do you have a ballpark idea of pricing?
I tell you what, I'll email that over to you, because I'd have to work it out. 1,000 would be 100 square meters. You could be looking at about 9 to 10 tubs of passive purple external. And it could range from prices, so maybe $180 a tub.
Okay, about $180 per tub.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No worries.
Okay, and then I got
I'll confirm in an email. I'll get it over.
Yeah.
I'll get
Okay.
one of those.
Right. Ballpark. It's ballpark.
Ballpark, always ballpark.
Right.
I got a distributor gonna message me in a minute.
Thank you.
What?
So Dimitri Baskin asked me to ask what the shelf life is of the product.
So we've got 2 years shelf life on the product. Realistically, it's not going to go. It's not going to do anything. So yeah, there's nothing in there really that's going to do anything to itself. Yeah, we have to put a time. We put 2 years on it. That's because we know someone will have it for 4 years, and then they could have a problem. But yeah, 2 years is on our shelf life.
Got it. Okay, cool. Next is Mario. Mario, are you available to ask your question?
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right, great. Hey, Mario.
Hey, how you doing, guys? Hey, Adam, good to see you again, man.
Nice, loving the top.
Yeah. So listen, so I had a question. So I've done work in Nevada, which is like east of Reno. I've lived here in Joshua Tree. I've done work down in the coast, like a 47 house, like a 1942 house. When it rains, the silt saturates in the crawl space. So I've dealt with a lot of different moisture and air type conditions, I guess, if you want to call it. What I need is it probably doesn't apply universally to everything. Like, it depends on the climate. Like, what do I do if here in Joshua Tree it gets up to 46 Celsius, 45 in the summer, and then it'll go down to, I don't know, 5 in the winter sometimes. I don't know if I'm doing my conversions right. 20 degrees Fahrenheit up to about 115 in the summer. So what do we plan for depending on the climate? Like, say if I'm doing a job in Manhattan Beach, or in Venice or Ventura, something on the coast, and how those, are we drying to the outside? Are we drying to the interior? I know that those are bigger. It's just when I did the passive house, I couldn't wrap my hand around it. I don't live in a very specific climate that's the same all the time. So
I've been in it a long time, and I still can't wrap my head around it. Everyone will tell you different. Now, with everything, you've got to use Woofy calculations. You can't just say anything on hearsay. Never to every house that you do, get a Woofy calculation done as well. Back up. We say you should have it on every build up. It doesn't matter if you've done the build up 100 times. If you're in a different location, definitely get that done, because that will tell you or give you the best guess, or not the best guess, the best outcome that you're going to get for the product, or choose the right product for you rather than listen to Dave or Gary who says it's just going to do this because they know better. But that's why.
And are we planning for the time of the year where we're dealing with the most moisture? Like because here in the desert, we're starting to get wetter winters. So in California, we're starting to get a lot more rain in recent years over the winter, but we're going really hot in the summer. So are we planning for winter conditions or summer conditions when we're choosing the material?
That's the only thing that the Whoopi calculation could tell you.
Okay.
From what it is, I can't just go, this year it's this and this year it's going to be wetter. I'm going to suggest this. It just doesn't work. Like there's people on way above my pay grade. That is way above my pay grade to decide, and there's a lot smarter people, technology that will actually tell us that. So,
hey, congratulations on the certification.
Good answer there. I would use them.
And congratulations on the certification. I know that you guys had to go test in Indiana, so.
Oh, that was a brilliant paint. It wasn't painful at all.
No?
4 bloody years that took. 4 bloody years.
Congratulations, man.
Oh my God.
Congratulations.
£250,000 later. No, yeah.
And also, just a quick question. You had the Protect slide came up really quick on the slideshow. Can you go into what Protect is? Is that the clear barrier?
No.
Because I don't think we talked about it. You mentioned Poseidon, and then and then it just sort of like briefly came up on the slideshow. The Protect version, is that for? There it is, right there.
That's our window protection one. I don't know if it's slideshow. Was it a video, Loz? Oh yeah, it's a video. There we go.
Intelligent Protect. Start in the corner here.
Nice.
That's awesome. Is that sprayed on or brushed on?
So that's sprayed on. So
that's fantastic.
So you go up to, you fit all your windows, you spray them up. Everyone comes in, doesn't get any mess on the windows or cement or paint or what they say they're not going to get on it. Leave it for 18 months or 2 years internally, and then just whip it off. Because the idea is we don't want anyone to touch that window. We don't want a window cleaner, no one. The window installer fits it, we spray it, gets peeled off, you recycle the waste, and that's it.
Game changer.
Yeah, wow. You just damage on site and trades. No offense to all these trades, but trades are. Yep. I'm not going to go there, but yeah, we need to protect our windows well because the clients don't want it. The clients don't want to see all these scratches around the glass. They don't want to see it on the aluminium. Because they're paid for these $5, $6, $7, $10,000 windows, and then they've got all this muck and cement up it. It's painful for them.
Does that come in smaller units for the?
It comes in the same 10 kg tub. Yeah.
Okay.
The reason why we do 10 kg and 11 kg is because it's the perfect weight for carrying.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of other companies, are like US companies, they do a lot bigger tubs. We can do it, but we're trying to think of the workers. So if they can have one on either side, balanced, hurting their back and things like that. All of our stuff is in aluminium tubs.
Well, so congratulations on the new developments. Congratulations on the new branding. Those things look like a video game, man. I don't want to mess with those guys.
Hey, mate, you want to see the videos that are coming soon.
Oh, cool. And if you're ever back in LA, man, come down. Let me know when you're in LA again, and we'll connect.
I'll drop you a message. I'm over in a few weeks, mate. So I'll drop you a message.
Cool. Yeah, I'm taking some meetings in November down on the beach. So, All right. Good to see you again, man. Congratulations.
Thanks, Mario. Appreciate it. We have one more question here. So if you have a question and you want to ask it before we close up, now is the time to put it into chat. But with that, I'll hand it over to Keith Green for currently our final question.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Great presentation. I love your products too. That Protect looks like you could use it for a whole bunch of stuff. Painters would love it. leave it in place and, protect all your sensitive stuff. We actually met last year in Denver, Adam. You guys had a great presence out there. My question about your products is, what happens if you over apply them? You mentioned, when you roll something, you tend to do it until whatever your rolling is either invisible or that it becomes opaque enough so you're satisfied. What happens to your products if you apply them too thick, over too much of your surface?
Nothing. Nothing's going to happen to the product. It's if you have not enough product, that's one thing. If you have, say, if you're going for the external, our UV protection is on the build up. You need a set amount of product on there to be UV stable, to be protected. If you don't have enough, it's not going to be as protected, and that's when it can cause damage. But if you put too much on, it's not going to be the same. It'd be like if you got like a squidgy washing up foam cloth. Where you do your dishes, imagine that just getting thicker. That's going to be fine. If you got it really thin, it's not going to do anything. But if it goes, it's fine. Obviously,
So
if it's going to be an inch thick, then it's like we know something's wrong. But the amount you're talking, if it's got like a gloopy bit where they've sprayed too much, it's not going to cause any damage.
So it doesn't affect the performance if it's on too thick.
No, but it won't affect the performance. No.
Thank you.
And just going back on the trades, we do have an eco version. So we have an actual latex protection product as well for kitchen worktops and things like that. So you can go in, paint it up really quick and easy, paintbrush job. But it's biodegradable. Only lasts for 4 months because it's biodegradable. It's in the nature, but that's our eco product.
Awesome. Great. Thanks, Keith. Well, I think that wraps it up here, Adam. And this is like perfectly 1 hour. Very, very well done. Is there? Before I say my thank yous and close things up, is there anything else you'd like to share?
I've got some more products, but I think we've spoken enough for the last hour on that. Yeah, no, our presence in America is going to get a lot stronger. We're going to be at the Build Show in Texas in November. So we're going to come in all singing, all dancing. Look out for that. Yeah, just anything you need from us, details, drawings, PDFs, anything you need, just drop us an email. We're always happy to help. Always happy to jump on Zoom. I know everyone sees my face a lot, but I do have a lot of other people in the background. I don't thank my team as much as I should do sometimes. But yeah, Intelligent Membranes, we've got the LA guys. They're doing a smashing job over there. We've got all our products and stuff in New York. We've got we've got Thomas coming up in Canada. We've got Bob Kelly in Chicago. Yeah, we've got resources to help. We're here to help. And if you just want to talk about Passive House, ring me up and that's it. Or drop us an email. We'll have a Zoom. We'll have a natter. We can go through the good, the bad, the ugly, the really bad, and the bad.
Awesome. Well, Adam, thank you so much. A fantastic presentation and great discussion. And a big thank you to Intelligent Membranes for being a champion sponsor of Passive House Accelerator. We really, really appreciate that support. We're also excited to be releasing a podcast episode featuring an interview with you in the coming weeks. So everyone look out for that. Meanwhile, we'd love to see everybody join us on October 18th at the Reimagine Buildings How to Decarb Conference. There will be AIA CEUs available for that. It's a great way to bone up on the range of things we need to do to decarbonize buildings. Also great for colleagues who are new to this space because it's basically this how-to format across the board with decarbonization. So October 18th. With that, thanks again, Adam. Thanks everyone for joining us and have a great rest of your Thursday. Be well.